In this video, we'll be discussing how to charge and how to empty the toilet in your campervan. Now look, you're among friends. Emptying the toilet is nothing to be scared of. All you need to do is follow a few simple steps and you will master it in no time. So first of all, we're going to show you where the cassette is located and how to remove it from your campervan. So the toilet cassette door will have two buttons towards the top that you must press both in before you pull the door down. On this model, we have a lock to one side, which when it's upright is locked, and when it's horizontal like it is now, it is unlocked. So press both together and simply pull the door down. Now, if we're looking at the bottom, there is a blue catch. This blue theme will follow on throughout because all of the controls will have a blue theme. Some may be yellow, but they'll all identify the bits you need to concentrate on. All you do, pull the blue lever up and then simply slide it out. Now the first thing we will do is show you how to charge it. So if you haven't used it before or it's been empty for a while, we'll show you how to add chemical, add the water before you put it back in place, ready for use. Now it's worth noting, if it's new, you may find that this cap part may be missing from the cassette itself. They're normally in a bag inside. So if you've opened the door, this blue or yellow cap is missing, just have a look around inside, screw it back into position, and then you're ready to charge it for that first time. Right, so to fill your toilet cassette, you will need, obviously, the cassette itself, as well as some loo chemical. Now, it's all the blue dials and buttons that you need to concentrate on here. First of all, we need to slide this cover back. There's nothing to press, literally slide it back until you can see that round disc in front of you. And then you turn this blue knob here. It might be blue, might be yellow, but whatever cover it is, just turn it anti-clockwise and you'll see the blade open. Now that opens up the cassette. Unscrew the loo chemical and follow the instructions on the back. Now this particular brand, it needs 60 millilitres and this sample pot is exactly 60 millilitres. So we'll empty all of that inside the cassette. And then once that's emptied in, we will close that disc again and slide this cover back into place. Now this particular brand of chemical also requires 2 litres of water to go inside the cassette itself. It's only an approximate measure. The easiest way to do that, you can fill it through the same hole, but the way I find it is if you just swivel this, unscrew the cap, and that way you can just fill it up from the tap itself. Now when you think that's about 2 litres, simply turn the tap off, replace the cap, put back into place, and your cassette is now ready to use. But it's important to note that you should only use the water filler points at the chemical disposal, not the filler points at your fresh water points. So with the cassette now charged and ready for use, fitting it is easy. All you do, rest the back wheels on the tray, push it into place until you hear that click. Once you've heard that click, shut the door, and if you'd like to lock it, simply lock it with a key, and it is ready for use. Right, so if your toilet cassette needs emptying, all you do is open the door. Remember that the toilet blade will have to be closed in the toilet cassette for it to be extracted. So the same blue catch again, lift it up, pull the cassette out. Now your cassette may have a handle, it's got some wheels on the bottom. This one here folds into place. It may be telescopic where you squeeze a handle and pull it out. But either way, if the cassette is heavy, you can simply wheel it away to that emptying point. Right, so now it's time to empty your toilet cassette. Now, if I was away and this was our own cassette, I would normally wear a pair of disposable gloves. This is a brand new cassette. We've only filled with water and chemical for a demonstration. So no gloves now, but it's entirely up to you whether you do wear gloves going forwards. Important to know though that even if you're using gloves, always make sure your hands are freshly washed afterwards. Right, to empty the toilet cassette. Again, we're looking at all the blue parts on the cassette. We will need to unscrew the cap here. And while we are emptying it, we need to make sure this blue button is depressed. Basically, that allows air to go in, so you have a glug-free emptying experience. So, we tilt the pipe to the top, unscrew the cap, make sure you put it somewhere safe. You don't want it falling down into the emptying point. So the cap's off, and we're going to tilt it and empty it. Now's the time to put your thumb on that blue button. Make sure it's pressed in, not just once, but keep it pressed in. And then you simply tilt and empty the cassette. It really is as simple as that. When it's empty, you can take your thumb off that button, tilt it back upright, and put the cap back on. Now, obviously, if you were going on another trip, you were continuing your journey, you would then recharge it, put fresh chemical in, and you'll be good to go again. Now, before you rush back to reinstall your toilet cassette, just make sure that everything's clean where you've been. This particular chemical emptying point has a flush. Make sure you flush it. You might have a hose, so you can hose round the area. Always make sure you use the proper disposal point. Don't get them confused with the wastewater disposal point or the grey water disposal point. It has to be the chemical disposal point for your cassette. But now we're done, the area's clean, we can go and install it back in the camper van. So with the toilet empty, you're once again ready for your next trip. As I said before, this part of camper vanning is nothing to be scared of. All you need to do is follow a few simple steps and you'll be a pro before you know it.